I got some very solid dating advice for women. Okay, this is the best dating advice you're going to hear. And no, I've never been married. So you're probably thinking, well, why should I listen to you? Well, I got a lot of experience. Okay, I got a lot of experience. I've made a lot of mistakes. And I believe that you don't have to be married for a certain amount of years to have wisdom. Okay, we should learn that from the boomers. Okay, boomers have also been married for many years, and they know nothing. So and this is something that should have been passed down to us. It should have been taught to us, but again, we did not have that. Unfortunately, we did not have that leadership in our life. We did not have that good example in our life from the Gen X and the boomer parents, grandparents. So we had to learn this later in life. And I was going to say, I've wasted so many years learning these lessons, but honestly, it was worth it. I invested a lot of years, a lot of time and energy into men that did not reciprocate. And I learned a lot. So it was not really wasted, but I'm now 36 and I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. So, so the first thing is you have to date to marry. Okay. You must date to marry. Do not date to see where it goes or have fun. Okay. You deserve better than that. Okay. You know deep down that you are worth more than that. Okay. So do not think that idea, that normalized idea is okay. It's not okay. Okay. It was definitely normalized and passed down to us as if it's okay to like date for a few years and drink and all that. No, none of it is okay. It's bad for your health. It's bad for your spirit. It's just, whether you are a Christian or whatever, you don't have to be religious. It's terrible for you. Okay. And you deserve better than that. So always date to marry. And it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be months and years. You can marry quickly, but if you get married, definitely have some sort of, what is that called? Anyway, some type of contract where if that guy decides in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years that, he decides, he doesn't love you anymore and you haven't changed, you still love him and you still cook and clean and treat him like a king and all that. But he decides, he doesn't love you anymore. And he decides to cheat or just not treat you the way he used to. Okay. You should have some type of agreement where if he decides to do that, you are taken care of when he decides to change. And you, because you're, I'm very sensitive and I'm very intuitive. So I would not be able to go, oh, it's okay. It's okay. I can just stay. It's okay. No. Absolutely not. I couldn't do it. And neither should you. So if that happens, you should be taken care of. You should be covered. Okay. You got to cover your ass. Cover your ass. And if he's a good guy, if he's the one, he will have no problem. Okay. He will have no problem having some type of contract written up where, if that happens, you're taken care of. Because people just are clueless these days. They're clueless. They do not care for women who want to stay home and cook and clean and care for the next generations. Okay. It's just, there's no respect for women these days that actually do that. And if you decide to do that, which is the most important job in the world, by the way, the most important job in the world, to be a mom. And I'm not saying you have to be a mom. Okay. You can just be a housewife and, whatever, you know what I mean? You can still be a great woman and a great wife and work and all that stuff, whatever you want to do. But if he decides to change And all of that time and energy that you invested in the relationship is just gone. It's just, it's over. You should be taken care of. He should pay for that. Absolutely, he should pay for that. Okay? But especially if you're a mom, because that's a lot of sacrifice. That's a lot of love that you're giving. And yeah, you should be taken care of. And I'm inspired to make this video because right now I am about to move. I'm moving in a couple days, and I came into this shop. I'm in the shop next to the place that I'm renting. It's like a garage shop area. And I came in here to get some boxes to start packing, and I realized, oh wait, I can't start packing. I have to clean the boxes. After this big day I had, taking care of my son, and so many things. There were so many things I did today. Okay. And I come in here and I'm like, oh, I have to clean the boxes. I can't even pack. Okay. So I came in here and I just cleaned all my boxes. There's some in the house, but I cleaned the boxes on top. They're kind of annoying to clean. And I had cleaned them like 2 weeks ago. And the reason I had to clean them is because the shop is just a total, it leaks because a boomer owns this place and they don't take care of it. No one really takes care of their stuff anymore, but especially boomers. And they just expect you to, they expect their kids and grandkids to be their slaves and not actually reciprocate or provide for them like they should, because that's what elders should do. You should provide for your kids and your grandkids and your community. But anyway, the point is, I came in here and I'm like, I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to deal with this. But here's the thing. I won't pretty soon. I'm going to be moving. And I won't have to deal with the consequences of some other guy's actions by putting us in an unstable situation, because this was an unstable situation. And as soon as he moved out, I was evicted. Okay. And it wasn't because I wasn't paying my rent. Okay. It's because he had moved out. The landlord doesn't like me because I'm the only one who, calls him out for being a loser, degen. And so and that's okay. He did a huge favor for me. He actually did me a huge favor. I'm going to go into a much better, much more stable place. But the point is, I don't want other women to have to go through this. I don't want you to have to go through this, where you are in an unstable place and you're in survival mode. You're hyper masculine. Okay. That's no way to live, especially if you're a mom. That's no way to live. And the only way to change that is to cut off the men, like your partners that are doing this to you, your family members that are doing this to you, and start over and make your own conscious, intentional, intuitive decisions. Okay. So that, you don't have to clean up someone else's mess, basically. Okay. And if you enter into another relationship or, dating the dating world, just know that you just have to cover your ass, date to marry, and make sure that if anything changes, you're taken care of. Because, I again, like I said, I've never been married. And so, there wasn't I didn't lose any money in this situation, okay? But I've invested a lot of time and energy, and I've spent a lot of money on men as well. But I've invested a lot in my relationships. And, I don't want to see women that are just giving so much and not actually being wise. They're not being smart about taking care of themselves and making sure that if anything were to happen, that they are provided for, and like I said, if you are with a good man, if you're with a good man that really wants to take care of you and provide for you for the rest of your life, he will have no problem going, okay, oh, it's a prenup, the prenup. I don't know exactly what a prenup is, but, but that's what I was thinking. That's what I was trying to think of in the beginning of the video. But, yeah, if he's a good man, he should have no problem, okay, agreeing to some type of contract where you are taken care of. Because these days, women have a right to be anxious and worried about, will he still, like the song, the song, will you still love me tomorrow? Will he still love you 20 years from now? Will he still love you 30 years from now? That's the real question, and these are things that they were never told to us as women. We weren't taught about money. We weren't taught about love. We weren't taught about our bodies. We weren't taught about anything. And so we have to be the ones, we have to be the ones. That's why I try to put this out into the world, to share it with people, because we should share it. We shouldn't gatekeep and, put a price on everything. We should share that knowledge with the world. And I just want you all to stay safe out there, and cover your ass, ladies. Cover your ass.